G'day guys, welcome back to another episode on the Stagea build. Today we are playing with the RB25DET NEO. We're going to pull it out of this cradle, put it on an engine stand, strip a few bits off that have been put on here and start fitting all the go fast bits, cams, springs. I got a trigger kit, new balancer, a few other bits and pieces, and then refit everything properly with gaskets torqued up, put it back together properly. Also going to paint the block and just basically make this thing finished, ready to go back in the bay once and for good in as clean and tidy, presentable state as possible, so I never have to pull it back out again. But anyway, we will get there eventually, so we're going to make a start, get this on the stand and go from there.
Alrighty, how we doing?
Good. We're just we've obviously got it back on the engine stand, so I'm just going to go through, take this intake manifold off. It's a race tune intake, so it's got all the individual ports with the water lines that come out, which then go into a filler neck, whatever you want to call it, port, where the original one comes out. So anyway, I'm just going to rip this off, pull it apart, disassemble it so that we can sandblast it and powder coat it. The bronze accent colour that we're doing with bits and pieces in the engine bay.
Try and get it similar to the exhaust
It'd be nice
manifold.
if it was the same, but it's bronze powder coat. It's going to be what it's going to be. So anyway, we'll rip that off, do that. And then we're going to pull some brackets off, do them black, a few other bits and pieces, and then yeah, cams, move on from there. But yeah, for now I'm just going to rip this intake manifold off and yeah, get it ready to go on powder coat and get it ready to put back on, really. One of the most time consuming tasks of it all.
Doing all the pretty bits rather than the go fast bits.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll be back with an update soon. Look away for 2 seconds, you almost got the manifold off.
Yeah, literally. Not too hard.
Last bolt?
I think so. Perfect.
Nice.
And just pull the water lines off it next, and then we can basically, yeah, sandblast it and then powder coat it. Get that done.
Get into it.
Alrighty, just doing a quick before and after of the intake manifold. So this is it stripped, ready for sandblasting before we powder coat. So we've got all the water ports taken out of it, all the bungs taken out, the O-ring. So just doing a nice before. Next clip you see of this intake manifold will be after it's sandblasted and raw, and then after that one it will be in powder. Alrighty, we got the intake manifold back out of the sandblaster. As you can see, it's no longer shiny, it's got a full matte finish everywhere. All cleaned up, ready for powder coat. next time you see this one, it'll be covered in powder coat, ready to go in the oven. Alrighty, next up for the sandblasting, we've got the aircon pump bracket. You can see it's nice and crusty. Throw that in the sandblaster, clean it up, ready for powder coat. I believe these brackets are all going black. We get the before, which is what we're doing right now, and we'll see you back in the after. Righty, we've got all the parts out of powder coat. Intake manifolds all coated. It's got a bit of a nice bronze to it. A bit hard to see. Looks almost silver in the lighting, but there's a bit of a bronze. And we've got the other brackets and bits and pieces from the engine. Thermostat neck, some of your brackets. That's that AC bracket from earlier. I didn't get some of the befores of these other parts, but I've got the before of the AC bracket and the intake manifold, but they all come up nice in a black powder coat. Nice, clean and new. Well, as new as they can look. Alrighty, we'll see you in the next one when we're putting these bits on the engine.
Alright, everything's off the left hand side of the block, so except for the exhaust manifold gasket, but I'll pop that off in a sec. But yeah, everything's off. That's ready to move on to the right hand side and get it stripped. Alright, quick little beforehand of the right hand side. Get it stripped. Alright, so pretty much everything on the right hand side, driver's side, is all removed. I'm going to clean that gasket off, get it ready to paint the block. Alrighty, all the blocks all painted, both sides. Make it look fresh. So we're going to start by pulling balancer off, lower cover, then we're going to pull the rock covers off. Align top dead center, pull spark plugs out, confirm it is. Then we're going to pull the cams out. Make a start on doing valve springs and everything. Alrighty, so covers are off. We're down to the point of pulling the cams out. So it's all set on top dead center. Double check, triple checked. So we'll undo these cam caps, pull the cams out, then pull all the buckets out and inspect everything and move down the train to see if we can put in some valve springs. Alright, so we've just got our tool, which is going to push down on the retainer, allow us to pop the collets out of there, and then release it up. Got air in the cylinder, so that we allow it to hold the valve open, and then we can change the valve spring, put the new valve spring in there, put the retainer back on, put the collets back in, there. So anyway, I'll get these done. Alright, as you can see, new versus old. New ones are just the spring, the old ones have the retainer still, so they will go on. Now, yes, there's a height difference, but look at the thickness of the spring. They can handle it. So anyway, we'll put these in. Alright, all the springs are done and in. There's all the old ones in the buckets, so start reassembling everything and then check them, make sure the lash is right. Go from there. Alrighty, so all the timing's done, cam covers back on. I have got a Ross Racing dual trigger kit, so cherry sensor down the bottom, the other sensor at the top. Quite a neat looking setup. Painted to match the car. I'll go grab the coils. This thing's got R35 coil pack kit from Tarks AFI Solutions. So I'll go and grab that, throw them in, and then start piecing it all back together. Put the adapters back in and put the knock sensors back in. Put the Tarks oil filter relocation kit block on, new thermostat housing. Just start piecing this side back together and then move on from there. Alrighty, so intake manifold's fully on. Everything else is obviously these two heater hoses. I'm going to try and get some silicone hose to be able to run. I'm not going to be able to run the original metal pipes across here because where the 8-speed adapter comes up too high for it, won't clear and fit. So I'm going to get a P-clamp and P-clamp them on and run them together, but run them around the back like normal anyway. But I need to connect all them up once they're in the car, which isn't the end of the world. It's not going to be super nice to do, but it is what it is. Hot side's done. Weld on the EMAP bung. AC compressor is being cleaned at the moment, but I'm not going to refit it because it won't even fit. My Ross balancer, doesn't allow for that, so I'm going to have to ring Ross and figure out what's going on there. It just looks so good. This isn't the colour I was going for. It's more of a rose gold than bronze, but it is what it is. I'm not powder coating it again. It's the only bronze I have. It is bronze of a sort, but it's just not the colour that I was hoping for. Anyway, all the R35 coil packs are in. So next is pick this up, put it back on the subframe and start mounting up the 8-speed kit, like the bell housing adapter kit, and then get the converter out and get it ready to be able to mount the box to the motor for good. Set it in that subframe all together and go from there. See you when I'm putting it in. Alright, quick update. Engine's on and mounted in the subframe, and the adapter plate is bolted on. I do need to bolt the ones from underneath from the supports down here in the bottom. The main 4 are in. I'll go and get the flex plate next, bolt that up, get that torqued, and then continue on with setting up to put on the transmission, which is the next big thing with this. So a little bit of an update for you. Alright, so adapter plates torqued. It's pretty important when doing things like this to actually follow the specs. So when doing something really check the instructions and check the specs, especially on the flywheel bolts, or flex plate bolts in this case. Make sure they're right. Anyway, we'll get this box on next. Alrighty, turbo and hot sides on. I have some heat sheathing I need to put on that and that, but I need to get that, which will be in the coming days. Pretty much everything's on and together for the hot side wise, which means that it's already pre-plumbed and sorted. I've changed all these lines and done this. Got a silicone, new hose clamps. So a couple of bits I need to finish up once it's in the actual car itself, but for now, hot side's done out of car, so that it makes it easy when I go and put it in the car, because the turbo itself has to come off to go up through from underneath. So it'll just come off, disconnect a couple of lines, make it so I can drop it through. So for now, this will be the end of the episode. We'll pick up in the next episode, which will be episode 2 of the 8HP conversion, because we'll be putting the box on and going from there with it. So, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you went, how I went really, but how you went with it. If you like it, you don't, what I should have done different or better. Talk to ya. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to tune in next time when we put this back in the engine bay and get it ready to go. Also, like, comment and subscribe. Let us know how we went.